I saw a video of Bishop Joshua Maponga with Wadamaya, and I also did another interview with Pan-African Daily TV, and I was heartbroken, guys, to see our bishop to be held in the Dominican Republic. You know, it's something that should not have happened, but it happened. That our bishop was detained for 4 days, and he said he's been there in Dominican Republic with no food, no water to bath or to drink, no bed to sleep. 4 days, guys. 4 days. 4 days. The country that we connect with, that we need to connect to get to Jamaica, as we don't have a direct flight to get to Jamaica. Yeah, it's starting to scare me. Though, you know, as a South Africans, they'll tell you, don't worry, because, you know, you're a South African, but I don't think I can be treated different like any other African countries. At the end of the day, I'm an African person, and I would not want to see any other African countries go through what Bishop Joshua Maponga went through. And the other one that I saw, it was Minihau. Jamaica she has bought the ticket to get to Jamaica. Jamaica had no problem for her to get to Jamaica. But again, connecting, the visa issue. Any African country that still have visa, including my country, need to take off that visa problem, that we need to make sure that our African brothers, our African sisters travel free across Africa. Can Africa make every African country visa free? Our own continent, we cannot travel peacefully in our own continent. When we get to the other side of the world, it becomes worse. It was heartbreaking to see Minihau not travel. She had packed her bags, guys. You have seen it. She had packed her bags to leave Kenya to go to Jamaica. And Jamaica have accepted her to come to Jamaica. But the problem is this country that we need to connect. The countries that she need to go to in order to reach to reach Jamaica. Many Caribbean people have not been to the land of Africa because of the visa issue, because of the traveling that it makes it very difficult for them to leave the Caribbean to come to Africa, to the motherland. And we as Africans, we're doing nothing to help each other, to help our brother leave the Caribbeans to come to Africa. Those who want to come to Africa, to the motherland, because there's a lot of Caribbean who want to come back to Africa. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe. So let's spread the word that Africa need visa free. Let's do business together, Africa to Africa. And we're not saying we don't want to do business with the European, which country you come from. Can we as African start to do business to each other? Imagine the business that can come straight from the Caribbean to Africa. Or those people in the Caribbean with the skills to come to Africa and come and work in Africa, and they come with the skills and bring it back here in the motherland. And us as Africans to take our skills to the Caribbean. I'm back and back. We call it back to back. I know, guys, I've been sick. I couldn't wait to get back to this chair because there's just so much. Am I in the center, guys? Yeah, I think now this is where I want to be. So, guys, to be serious, I've been sick and sick, guys. I've been wanting to do videos, guys, and yeah, it was tough. It was tough. I couldn't speak. The last video that I did, I was better. I got better. Then it got worse, and when it got worse, I couldn't speak. I couldn't speak, guys, and yeah, the struggle of getting sick, it's not something that I wish even at my enemies, you know. I took medications after medication to a point where I got tired of medication. I stopped taking medications, and everybody was saying, why are you not taking medication? I said, you know what, this medication, I'm tired now. I think I've been taking this medication for a long time. But the medication, I think it also did help me, because now I'm better. I can speak. I can come back. So, yeah. I know we don't normally start the videos like that. We start like this. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending where you're watching this video. My name is Hlulani, the Tsonga Prince from South Africa. If it's the first time you bump into my face, or it's the first time you bump into this huge face, my name is Hlulani, the Tsonga Prince from South Africa. Subscribe. Let's start by subscribing. Guys, I'm still not 100% perfect. So when I'm speaking, I'm trying to hold my tongue not to move too much. But yeah, but I've got my liquid just to lubricate my tongue, because yeah, it get painful, guys. But I am back. I am here. Even I've been watching a couple of vlogs. I've been watching a couple of people, and yeah, I was just not so happy with what I saw, what's happening to our African brothers. It was concerning me to see people getting denied visas, people getting denied to pass through certain countries because they're asking for visas, even though that the countries that they're passing through, it does not need visa for those specific people to cross over to another country. I saw a video of Bishop Joshua Maponga with Wadamaya, and I also did another interview with Pan-African Daily TV, and I was heartbroken, guys, to see our bishop to be held in the Dominican Republic, you know. It's something that should not have happened, but it happened. That our bishop was detained for 4 days, and he said he's been there in Dominican Republic with no food, no water to bath or to drink, no bed to sleep. 4 days, guys. 4 days. 4 days. I don't think there is that a way of treating a human being. To see him saying things that he was saying about the country, he was heartbroken, guys. If you haven't seen the video that he did with Wadamaya, or the video that he did also with Pan-African Daily TV, he did an interview with the lady there. I don't want to lie, guys. It was something that was starting to scare me as a traveler, and I know Jamaican are welcoming all African to come to the Caribbean. But the problem is these countries that we're connecting with. The countries that we connect with, that we need to connect to get to Jamaica, as we don't have a direct flight to get to Jamaica. Yeah, it's starting to scare me. Though, you know, as a South Africans, they'll tell you, don't worry, because, you know, you're a South African, but I don't think I can be treated different like any other African countries. At the end of the day, I'm an African person, and I would not want to see any other African countries go through what Bishop Joshua Maponga went through. And the other one that I saw, it was Minihau. Jamaica she has bought the ticket to get to Jamaica. Jamaica had no problem for her to get to Jamaica. But again, connecting. The visa issue. the visa issue in Africa, I'll say, we don't want visa anymore. Any African country that still have visa, including my country, need to take off that visa problem, that we need to make sure that our African brothers, our African sisters travel free across Africa. We need to travel free across Africa. To go see my brother in Africa, I should not be requested for visa. The only thing that I'm supposed to be requested is this thing, which is the passport. The passport is something that they can request from me, but not visa. You can see how much we're suffering to get to even other continent because of visa issues and because we're African. Can Africa make every African country visa free? We put you as our leaders to lead us. We put you in those powers so that you can be our spokespersons. I'm talking to every African country that still has visa. I'm saying that include my country, South Africa, to scrap off visa for African people. Because we as African people, we are struggling to travel across our own countries. Our own continent, we cannot travel peacefully in our own continent. When we get to the other side of the world, it becomes worse. It was heartbreaking to see Minnie how not travel. She had packed her bags, guys. You have seen it. She had packed her bags to leave Kenya to go to Jamaica. And Jamaica have accepted her to come to Jamaica. But the problem is this country that we need to connect. The countries that she need to go to in order to reach to reach Jamaica. African need to go to Jamaica and see our African brothers, our African sisters, our African mothers, our African aunt. What are we going to do to get to the Caribbean as African leaders? We cannot sit here and say nothing. We cannot sit here and let our leaders not negotiate a route for us to go direct from Africa to Jamaica, to the Caribbean. Is it possible? I think it's possible for us to leave Africa to the Caribbean, or the Caribbean straight back to the motherland, Africa. Our leaders, you gotta go to that boardroom and start making things happen, because Africa, we are not going to be happy when we still see our brothers and sisters getting detained in countries they were not supposed to be detained. And on top of that, they are getting detained by our own people. I don't know if they don't think that they're African. I don't know if they don't think that they're African. We are African. As long as you've got this skin color, you are an African. We are not European, we are African. We need to start talking to one another. We need to start doing business to each other. Africa must unite. Africa must unite. We cannot be detained in countries that don't need visas. And they're asking for visas when the country doesn't need a visa for a Zimbabwean to be in a Dominican Republic. As a South African, it's visa free. I don't expect if I travel to that country to be held in a cell. Because it seems like what Bishop Joshua Maponga was saying is that there was this back and forth between the airline and the country, and the airline said they need a visa. And the other country says there's no visa. I think similar things to Minnie How. She can, as a Kenyan, she can travel from Kenya. I can't remember what country she wanted to cross over and they were requesting for visa when on paper she's not supposed to have a visa. Africa, what are we going to do? Africa, how are we going to see our Caribbean brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers? How are they going to land in Africa? Many Caribbean people have not been to the land of Africa because of the visa issue, because of the traveling that it makes it very difficult for them to leave the Caribbean to come to Africa, to the motherland. And we as Africans, we're doing nothing to help each other, to help our brother leave the Caribbeans to come to Africa. Those who want to come to Africa, to the motherland, because there's a lot of Caribbean who want to come back to Africa. I can guarantee you that there's a lot of Caribbeans who want to come, even just to visit, to touch the ground, to touch the floor of the motherland, to say, I am in Africa, to smell how Africa smells. What are we going to do? What are we going to do as African? Guys, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe. So let's spread the word that Africa need visa free. We don't need visas in Africa. I don't need visa to go to Kenya. I don't need visa to go to Nigeria. I don't need visa to go to Ghana. I don't need visa to go to Mozambique. I don't need visa to go to Angola. I don't need visa to go to any country in Africa. Why are our leaders failing us? Scrap that nonsense. The visa issue must be scrapped. The visa issue, we don't want to sit in Africa. It is funny, we make it so easy for the European countries to come to the motherland, Africa, and we treat them so good. But sometimes we as Africans, we are not treated so well. We as Africans, sometimes we are not treated so well. We welcome every country in the world in Africa. China can come to Africa. We welcome them. Asia can come to Africa. Europe can come to Africa. And we worship you. We give you love. We show you that we welcome you. But we sometimes as African, we are not welcome to those countries. Why? And we sit here and we say nothing. We need to start talking also as African. Let's do business together, Africa to Africa. And we're not saying we don't want to do business with the European, whoever, which country you come from. Can we as African start to do business to each other? Imagine the business that can come straight from the Caribbean to Africa. Or those people in the Caribbean with the skills to come to Africa and come and work in Africa, and they come with the skills and bring it back here in the motherland. And us as Africans to take our skills to the Caribbean. When are we going to start doing that? We need direct route to the Caribbean. The Caribbean need the direct route to Africa. Even though we get one country, one African country that we know our people can live wherever they are in Africa to go to this country visa free. Connect straight to Jamaica. Straight to Jamaica. How much business can Africa create? So that our Caribbean people who want to come back home, they can start coming back home to the motherland, which is Africa. We cannot have our bishop be detained in any other Caribbean country. And we know it's, I might not be sure that let me put it like this. We know this accident, it could have been a mistake. This accident could have been a mistake. It could be how they treat other African brothers. Let's pretend it as this is just an associated. It was just something that was not supposed to happen. It was a mistake that our bishop was detained for 4 days with no water, with no food by the Dominican Republic. Let's just pretend that the Dominican Republic detained our bishop by mistake. Let's just say from now on we'll do better. We are not fighting with our brothers and sisters. We say let's fix it. How do we fix it? It does not matter how dark I am. It does not matter how light you are. If you've got this skin color, you are black, you're an African. Your motherland is Africa. That's where you came from. Your motherland is Africa. That's where you came from. Don't forget that. Remember that who you are. Africa must unite. The Caribbean must unite. The Bob Marley fought for unity. The Bob Marley of Jamaica fought for us to be together, to work together, to be together, to have one love, to be under one roof. That's what the Bob Marley fought for. Let us not disrespect our ancestors. Let us not disrespect the soldiers who fought for the freedom that we are having today. Nelson Mandela fought for all black people in Africa. He didn't just fight for South Africa. He was just not arrested only for South Africa. He was arrested for all black person or African person to have the basic human rights. Of course, it was affecting us more here in South Africa. But I can tell you, Nelson Mandela fought for Africa. Lots of leaders in Africa fought for Africa. The Gaddafi fought for Africa. Gaddafi wanted one state. Gaddafi fought for this country. Gaddafi wanted Africa to come together. And they took him out. They took Gaddafi out. Because Gaddafi was going to be the next leader that was going to change Africa. What did they do? They take him out. So this is our time as African to come together. Let's be together. Let's support each other. Let's love each other. One love. One love. To see in a very short time of space, Minihao again getting denied to go to Jamaica when Jamaica is welcoming Minihao. Kenyan government, what are you going to do about this? Africa, what are you going to do about this? Zimbabwe, what are you going to do about this? South Africa, what are you going to do about this? Ghana, what are you going to do about this? Visa free for African. Visa free in Africa. No country in Africa should be having visa. I need to apply for visa to go see my brothers. to go see my brothers in Ghana, to go see my brothers in Nigeria, to go see my brothers in South Africa, to go see my brothers in Uganda, to go see my brothers in Kenya, to go see my brothers in Tanzania, to go see my brothers in Angola, to go see my brothers in Malawi. I don't need a visa. This visa issue, it was meant to block us from interacting to each other. It was to block us to grow as African countries. They make sure they put you in your own country. You stay there, you don't go see the other one because you're going to become smart. You'll see what the other country has, how they do things, and you want to come and implement in your own country. Like that will get better. So, African leaders, if you don't take out that visa and don't try to put a brush on it, you say it's in what visa. You still need to send these documents and this and this and this and this and this and this and pay for this and this and this and this, and you given days how long you can stay there. It's still visa at the end of the day if we're still paying for it. Why can't I have my passport? Why can't I travel where I want to go in Africa? Why are you blocking me? I understand we are worried about crime. But if we can make sure our countries are good, our countries have proper jobs, we're not going to worry about who's coming to this country to take this and this and this. There's no one's going to... Let's create jobs for our people. Imagine the job opportunities, the Caribbeans and Africa. If there's that easy access of the Caribbean and Africa, easy access to the Caribbean, easy access for the Caribbean to the African people, how much we can work towards, how much power we can have. Africa needs to come together. It is time that people stop lying about other African countries. For example, I ask myself, a lady like Minahau, why will they deny her access? And this connecting, you see, is because we need to leave from here and then get a visa from there. And it's not the destination that we're going to that has a problem. It's this connecting countries that has problems. These connecting countries, I need to go to this country together. Because I was asking myself, for myself to go to Jamaica, what is the route? Guys, I needed to go. Okay, it says, okay, let me Google that route again. The route that I needed to go to. Guys, I needed to go to how many countries? 4 countries. No, I needed to go to I needed to go to 2 countries before I can reach. Actually, I needed to connect 3 times. I need to connect 3 times before I can reach Jamaica. 3 times. In the other places, they need visas to get there. I see this other route that I can use. That I think I need to leave from here, from South Africa to Brazil. I don't need a visa. Can't remember the country that I need to leave Brazil, go to before I can go to Jamaica. Because I think, again, from Brazil, there's no direct flight to Jamaica. Guys, or I use the American route via America. And to get to America again is not a straight route. And I need a visa to go there. If you want to stay in the airport for few minutes, I still need a visa to connect. I still need a visa to connect. Can Africa at least be easy for us as African people to travel to Africa? Can you make it easy for our Caribbean people to come to Africa? Can you make it easy for us as African people to travel to Caribbean? Because now we can see we've been missing out a lot. How many people, and it starts with us content creators to show the rest of the world. This is what we're missing. It starts with us. How many people have tried to travel to go to the Caribbean but failed? Some were able to get in if you are lucky. And if you have the money to pay for the visa to via through the countries that you need visas. Not everybody has that money to pay for the airline, to pay for visa, to pay for accommodation, pay for food, pay for transport, pay for everything. Just make it easy for us, man. Make it easy for us to get there as African people. Can we have a direct flight from Africa to Jamaica? Can we have a direct flight from Africa to Trinidad? Can we have a direct flight from Africa to the Barbados? Can we have a direct flight straight to Jamaica, straight to Cuba, straight to Guyana? Can we have a straight flight straight to the Barbados? Can we not have to via through countries that demand a lot out of us of visas, that we need to pay a lot of money? And sometimes you're not even refunded for your money if things don't go right. Bishop Joshua Maponga, he had to buy 4 tickets while he was still detained, which costed him over 100,000 rand. I don't know how much is that in dollars. But that's a lot of money for a person. Imagine it was me getting detained there. Where would I have 100,000 to pay for 4 tickets that got cancelled at the end of the day because they're telling him, buy this ticket, buy this ticket. When he buys, they don't want to let him go. He had to buy 4 tickets before they can deport him back to Jamaica where he came from. And Jamaica accepted him. And he had to rearrange from Jamaica, to leave Jamaica, to come back to Africa. 2024, we should not be living like this. Imagine you don't have that money. You only had money for 1 ticket. What were you going to do as an African child? That's why we need to get rid of these visas. Make it easy for us to travel, to see our brothers and sisters. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We shall continue with this topic. My name is Hlulani, the Tsonga priest from South Africa. Please, guys, subscribe. Let's share. Let's have conversations. Let's have this conversation. Let it not end here. Let's spread this video. Send this video to your friend, to whoever, so that we can begin to start talking. I'm out. I love you, man. I love you. Kenya, I love you. Jamaica, I love you. Trinidad, I love you. The Barbados, I love you. Dominican Republic, I love you. America, I love you. UK, I love you. Argentina, I love you. Brazil, I love you. Zimbabwe, I love you. Mozambique, I love you. Malawi, I love you. Nigeria, I love you. Ghana, I love you. Wherever you are, I love you. I'm out, guys. Peace and happy. Stay happy and be peaceful. Let's work together.